Did you get the achievement for shooting his hat off? Oh.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for doing that. Mr. X. Shout out for Mr. X.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Testing. Hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming.
So how have you guys been this weekend?
Fabulous. Fabulous. Been a great weekend. You guys have been a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah, this has been crazy. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This is a big deal for us, and I hope it's a big deal for you, too.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just still catching my breath. I've been having to deal with Mr. X for a while. He just keeps coming. I don't understand. But yeah, no, it has been so awesome. Thank you all so much for being here. Some of you have been traveling from far and wide. I see one fan over there, he came all the way from Mexico, which was amazing. Yeah. People have been driving for like 8 hours from North Carolina, from Nebraska, Chicago, like amazing stuff. I'm so glad that you guys could come here and the community can come join here at SacAnime to come see us, and we're so thankful and we love you guys, so.
Well, we were definitely so happy to have you guys here. Thank you so much for being at our show. Thanks. You guys help make the show, make them happy, and that's excellent. We're here for you guys, so.
Thank you.
We have the microphone up here. I mean, this panel is for you guys, so if you have questions, please, by all means. Marcos is up here. He'll be asking you your questions, what you want to ask, but please, by all means, you can make a line, come on up, ask questions. What?
Hello?
Hi.
Okay. What do you guys think of all the Mr. X videos on YouTube with the DMX songs attached?
I think it's very fitting. Whoever came up with that is a genius.
Yeah.
All the Mr. X mods are hilarious.
We were just talking about Thomas the Tank.
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank, Terminator, like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, it's awesome.
His animations fit with it too, with the song when he's walking at you. But yeah.
So good. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. So for all three of you, if you're thrown into the zombie incident in Raccoon City as yourselves, how do you think you would fare?
How do we think we would fare as ourselves? Like as like me, Stephanie?
Yes.
In that situation?
Yes, as yourselves.
That'd be fine. Honestly, like with what we do, so I don't know if you guys know, but we did like full performance capture. So we've already fought off zombies.
So,
we
like,
have
practice.
gun training. We've got stunt training.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it that it's legit.
And once you've seen one zombie, you've seen them all. Like it's, yeah. You'll be fine. What about you, Nick? You think you'd be okay?
I think I would walk into my first encounter overconfident and die in 2 minutes.
I think
my
you might
honest
be
answer.
right. Great question. Thank you.
And he's like the master of great questions. He asked me about chess earlier. And yes, I was in chess club since the 3rd grade.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm good. So, question for all three of you. What would be more threatening? A 20 Mr. X's the size of a duck, or one duck-sized Mr. X?
A bunch of little ones. I feel like that would get out of hand. I feel like I'd lose track of them.
I think the first option, I'll go with that. Final answer.
Really? The little ones?
20 duck-sized Mr. X's?
It's power in numbers.
You said, more threatening. Oh, absolutely. They could
Yeah.
like jump up on you. They've got small
They
like
scatter.
fists like hitting you. Like
Yeah.
they got like little tiny teeth. Like that just seems terrifying.
You can hide in your shoes and stuff. Yeah, definitely the first
Yeah, I
one.
feel like one Mr. X I can totally handle. But a whole bunch of them? I don't know. Terrifying thought.
Oh, thanks. Now
Maybe
I gotta
that's
check
maybe
my
that's
shoes.
my new fear. That's
That's your new
That
fear.
seems fair.
He just
Thank you.
busts into like a spider sack of like all these hundreds of little,
Oh, actually, but the real question is, can you hear their footsteps?
That's a good question.
I'm not
If
sure. They're
so
pretty
tiny,
small.
Exactly. So maybe less terrifying.
Can we hear them breathing?
If you're gonna ask us a question like that, you gotta be prepared to take one yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta have an answer for that.
Well, let's put it this
Nebulous
way.
question.
Those turkeys going around here, I half expected we were going to witness a fight with security. Because it's just like, you know what? That inspires my question for today, so.
Are you scared of the
That's a good one.
turkeys? Is that where this is coming from?
Oh no, my fiance can confirm that I've done many stupid things involving animals attacking me.
Thank you.
Good question.
Thank you.
Hi, hope you all are doing well today.
Hi.
My question is for all three of you. What is the strangest experience you've had when in a recording session?
Oh boy, Nick always takes the cake
Nick
on this,
always
so we're just
does.
gonna start with Nick.
Was anybody here yesterday for the panel? Okay, so I'll try to give you the gist of what happened. So in the very final recording session for voiceover, for my character anyways, we were doing all the death screams when Leon gets killed, impaled, like you name it, right? And so it was a very long session. It was very strenuous on the throat. We're doing a lot of yells when you get burned to death, crushed to death. You know how that goes. So the last few takes, the director comes into the booth. It was really hot in the room. And he said, look, I know it's been a tough day. Let's do one more big one and then we'll get out of here and then you're pretty much wrapped. I said, okay, let's go all out. And so he said, imagine that you get impaled by a monster right in the stomach by his claws, and then he lifts you up and he grabs your throat and he's strangling you out and you're curdling blood, and then with your last ounce of breath, you just, the soul just leaves your body and then you die. And that's a big moment. There's a lot of beats in that, right? So I said, okay, I prepped myself and I wanted to do good for the very last take. And so I actually, I kind of lift myself up on my tippy toes and I had the water in my mouth and I was gargling, the blood curdle, everything like that. And I was pushing so hard on my neck to get that sound of, like that. I passed out. I choked myself out. And I fell down.
Not in a sexual way.
And Tom, the director,
clarify.
thought I was joking. He thought that was part of my act until my leg was twitching and all the blood rushed out of my head and I was pale as a ghost. And the guys at Capcom thought it was so funny that number one, they put it in the game, you can hear it, that take, and they gave me the sound file to keep.
Is it just me, or is that such like a Leon thing to do? You know?
Hey, if nothing else, that is dedication to the role.
Yeah. And I feel like my weirdest time on set is when he came to work and told us this story and played that tape. I was like, no, what?
Oh, yeah. When they told me, I was like, do you have the recording?
Yeah.
I wanted to know.
I was like, that's the
Is
best
he
thing I've
okay?
ever heard. Like, I don't think I could top that story. In all of my years of doing this, I think one of my favorite things is Nick choking himself out and dropping,
That's probably
just
the
dropping.
best. No one can top that.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. You can hear them.
And everyone's like, is he okay? No. I
Sweet.
wasn't.
Thank you, though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For letting us revisit that. That was great.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nick.
Hi. Hi.
So I was curious as to what your guys' favorite environments were, like the police station, the sewers, the gas station.
Good question.
I didn't have that many different environments, so I don't really. I feel like I sort of lived in the same world a little bit.
Sewers in the factory.
Yeah.
The sewers in the factory. Actually, I didn't like the sewer that much. That wasn't as much fun. I liked it. Where were we when when everything comes crumbling down and you fall through? How was that? That's not the inside of the sewer. That was
That's the end of the game.
that's when we're at the
Big facility.
at the facility. I like that. I liked whenever there was a lot of rough and tumble, and it was all super dangerous, and they're everything's shaking, and that's the most fun. Whenever there's destruction, I'd say that was my favorite.
My personal favorite was RPD, just because it's RPD. I mean,
Yeah.
that's brought me back to the original. So definitely getting out of that station was hell.
Yeah. I would say I hated the sewers because I was always lost. I was confused where the hell I was. So I was not a giant fan of that part. The facility was cool, but I think RPD is nice because you're finding the keys throughout it, so it keeps opening up. So you're like limited to this, and then you got the key, and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta go to that door. Where's that door? And like, I don't know. I think that part was more exciting. And then also the library in that section with like Mr. X, and you're like, all right, if I make him go this way, then I'll drop down the ladder, I'll move, I'll shift over the bookcases, you know, I have just enough time to crank everything over. So I think RPD for sure. Oh, and I have to say, with Chief Iron's office, when you play as Sherry, that gave me the EBGBs. I don't know, that got me a little creeped out because I felt small. So yeah.
I've like totally changed my mind now that I've thought about it for a second. You know, like I love that all these like times that Ada's always just like walking around and these sort of like, you know, whenever she's sort of in the parking lot or they're walking through like the city, and it's always just this like silent, sort of steely kind of, you know, and you just like tick 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 tick, like hear her like heels clicking and you know something she has to kill something crazy, but it's always like just kind of quiet. There's sort of like these quiet environments that really lend itself to her kind of steeliness. And I have to say, I take it back. I think those are more my favorite things because it's just fun that's who her character is. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, too. My question is, what is your favorite monster in the franchise?
Okay. Let me think about that one, too. That's a good one.
In the franchise?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
That's big. I would say a good runner-up while I'm thinking is Crimson Heads.
Ooh.
I thought those were awesome, like a great addition to add anxiety. Nemesis, I was a huge fan of Nemesis when that came out. I just loved, that was the first game I'd ever played that the main boss, the main villain, is not just at the end of the game, he chases you throughout the whole damn thing. And the first time I played through that, my anxiety level was like through the roof, because you'd be like doing these missions, I gotta get here, I gotta do this key thing, all right, cool. And then all of a sudden you just hear, stars. And I was like, oh, he's coming. So I would say Nemesis is probably my favorite, and I'm very excited for the new one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the ones you named are probably the best ones, I think. Although I really love what they did with Sound Design with Mr. X with this. Because that made you paranoid. But I don't know why. I still really like, I guess because Resident Evil 2 is one of the first ones I ever played, I still love the liquor moment. The first time you see the liquor is just like, for me, it just does it. And I guess the fact that it can go up on the ceiling and you don't know where to kind of look kind of gets me a little bit. So I think sometimes just like the classic like ones like that work for me. So.
I don't really know very much about the game or the franchise. I haven't really played the game at all. But when I have watched a lot of like the play online and stuff, when I've watched like YouTube clips and stuff, and I guess it's Mr. X. And what a groovy villain! Like all of a sudden, like you're moving along, going along, and I was like, oh, I'm getting the thing. And then this like crazy person comes out of nowhere, and he's like the size of a tank, and he freaks me out almost every time. I guess I get used to like the zombies and all the little monsters and the way people are moving and everything, but that always freaks me out because he's such a surprise. He like comes out of nowhere, and that freaks me out even, and I'm not even playing the game. So all the time. Yeah, he's looming, but he's not like Lou, because you think you're fine, you like forget about him, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh! You know, and then it always seems to me like you can't get away from him. Like I don't see everything else. I'm like, shoot it, kill it, blah 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 blah, and then like he shows up and it adds a whole new element. So that'd be my.
Thank you.
See,
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
That may be a little too tall for this mic.
Hello.
Hi.
Don't think I'm that tall, but. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm up here because my daughter won't come up and join me up here. I'm an English and drama teacher, and I was just curious if you would each talk to how you got to this place as voice actors, your experiences so far to get you to this point, because we've got a lot of young people in the audience who may be totally jazzed into following the path that you guys have gone.
Cool.
Yeah.
Should I just start on this end?
Go for it.
As an actor, and my advice is always like get started and just like start moving forward. So I get a hold of all the castings, like they call them breakdowns, right? And if I see something that's interesting or I might be right for, I pitch myself, whether my agent does it or I do it or I just think I'd be right for it. And that's kind of how I started out in this franchise. Even my very first motion capture job was playing Ada, which is like a dream come true, in Biohazard. And then once I sort of had that credit under my belt, the next time I saw something come down the pike that was also a motion capture voice sort of thing, I was able to use that credit to pitch myself, and then whatever other attributes I thought like lend itself to the character, and then just try to score an audition, and then I'd book another one, and then the next one was like a full performance for Tomb Raider, and I was like, okay, and then the very next time I saw a breakdown, I did the same thing. It was just that kind of like just moving forward and making it happen, like with or without like a support team or whatever, just moving towards things that interest you and excite you and drive you. And I have to be honest, my agencies and my managers and those people were not supportive at all of whatever mocap was, and they didn't seem to care about a voiceover career until I told them how much money we could make. And they still don't take it very seriously, and it's one of my favorite aspects of my career. Like, this video game world is so much fun and so rewarding, and I wouldn't be as fulfilled by my career if this wasn't a part of it. So if that says anything, just do what you feel like you want to do, and then just get started and work towards it and focus, and you'll get there. You'll get what you want, I think.
So your question was like general advice of if you want to get started. Do I have that
yeah,
right?
the general experience of, maybe I'm going to take drama, and then where am I going to go with this? And now look at me, I'm a voice actor doing this amazing stuff.
Well, I would just say this is really kind of like general and broad, but I believe this in every aspect of my life, and no matter what you guys are pursuing, whatever industry or career that is, you have to dedicate yourself like 120%. And that is like a rule of law for me personally. I just think there is a lot of competition in this world. There's a lot of people trying to do exactly what you're trying to do. Now, don't let that deter you, but let that give you that extra determination to go after whatever you want to do. So if you want to get into voice acting or whatever, learn as much as you can about it, and like really immerse your life into that, and it'll start to become your universe, and it will happen. So again, whatever industry, go for it hardcore. Don't half it because it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Thank you.
So I'll say my origin story began working, well, technically I moved to LA on vacation, so I had zero plans. But I ended up working at a Starbucks. And this is why I say to anyone, it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing, you'll meet people. And I was at a Starbucks, and one of my customers was like, "What are you doing out here?" And at the moment, I was doing stand-up comedy. And I said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna pursue acting." And I'd loved it since I was a kid. I was in all the plays and everything. I didn't do it in college because I was like, you can't make a living off that. Like, my brain went there, But anyway, so I came out here, and he gave me an opportunity. He was like, "Well, if you ever want to sit in on a session and see what it's like for voice acting, why not?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I'd love to do that. It's very niche and it's hard to get into, and how do I do it and all this stuff." And so I did, and I got in through the production side. And so I got to sit in and learn from the masters, and I kind of learned in that way. Now, I will say that, and this is what and there's a couple of people that have come up to me who always ask, "Well, I want to be a voice actor. What do I do?" And they're like, "So I've been recording stuff at home." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "Did you take acting classes?" "I have to take acting classes?" I was like, this is the thing that blows my mind, and I don't mean to be a jerk. I'm not a jerk. I'm just saying it straight. Voice acting. Voice acting. So take acting classes. That's not only going to help you with your breath work, but it's going to help you break down scripts. It's going to set you apart because you're not just saying words on a piece of paper. You need to hear the smile in your voice. You need to hear the tears that are coming out of your face that nobody actually physically sees. You know, so these are all things that you got to connect with. The other thing I always say is live your life. If you want to be Lara Croft, you go rock climb, or you go out into nature, or you know what I mean? Get a little something that reminds you of that character that can connect you to that and makes you feel empowered in those ways. And then the only other thing I would say is meet people. Literally, it's just meet people. Meet people as much as you can, work on your craft, love what you do, stay positive, know it doesn't happen right away, and know that there's not one way to get there. But you better love it. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know, tough love.
Hi, sexy. You look nice.
Awesome
Good.
cosplay.
Beautiful.
Thank you. You're awesome too. I love yours. Mine's specifically for Jolene, but the question is, what is your favorite thing about Ada Wong?
Oh, that's, I love her character so much. I like that, that you never really know what's going on with her. I like that complexity. I love something I heard from a lot of fans this weekend, which is really great, is that everyone's a little bit like, oh, you know, at first you think like she's coming to help, or then you think that she's this evil person, and then this twist happens, and then you think this is happening, and then you're like, oh my God, like the one guy told me, he was like, when she pulled out the gun, they're like, we thought, no, was that not in the story anymore? And so I love that roller coaster that they take you on with her character, and I like how subtle it is. I like the nuances of her character. It's all just very, everything about her is a little under the radar, even though she's a fairly intense woman. So that's kind of, I would have to say, the complexity they were able to give. The complexity they were able to give a character that is iconically a symbol, that like, I don't care that she still looks like this and she kills people in lingerie, because they make her so capable and smart and complicated, and she's sort of like a wrench in the system. So thanks for the question. Yeah, you look great. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, darling.
My question for all three of you is, if you could take any fictional weapon outside of Resident Evil and bring it into the game, which would you pick?
Wait,
weapon?
Any weapon you've seen like in any movie, so like for example Terminator or Halo or any like video game franchise or whatnot.
That's another great question. These are in-depth.
I like it. You know, I just love really huge guns. Like, I would love, like, anytime someone just like hands you some sort of like laser blaster type of thing. Like, it's great that, like, you know, Ada's always got this little gun, or she like blows things up and like does other things. But when someone just hands you like a piece like that, that's just like completely destructive and powerful, like that's the kind of weapon I like to play with.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I just realized I had it. So I'm usually like the person that, I mean, it's not really that interesting what I'm about to say, but the reasoning I think is interesting. But like anytime I've ever played games, or anytime that I'm like paintballing and stuff, I'm usually like the sneaky one that gets like down and like I'm like all muddy and disgusting and I just snipe people off. So I would love a sniper. I think a sniper would be sweet, you know, because then I could get Mr. X when he's further away. So
keep him far away.
Yeah.
This kind of sort of exists in the game, but not the exact same one. Arnold's minigun from T2.
Yes.
That moment for me when he kicks the desk out the window and he just lights up the field of cop cars, that was just like, in cinematic history, I was like, yes, I want that gun. So there is like technically a minigun in this game I think you can unlock. But anyways, that would be my vote. That or the M79 in that movie as well.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Howdy.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
where are some annoyances that like writers and voice acting and mocap that we as writers and directors can do to ease?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of the question?
What are some like pet peeves you have in
Pet peeves?
Yeah, in mocap or writing or voice acting that we as writers and directors and support can help you with or not do?
Ooh. I mean,
Gosh, I feel like I've just worked with such great people. I feel like I'm lucky to have them. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know how, I don't know exactly what you do. I don't know if you could help the problem, but a huge annoyance or pet peeve when you're doing mocap, I don't know if you've seen pictures of what the suits look like and the cameras and the helmets on the faces, and a huge hindrance to our scene work, especially when you're doing like intimate scenes or close scenes with people, carrying them, hugging them, anything, is those cameras come off your face. And you know, with the helmets, in mocap, you can't really, like, in a scene, you can't really scratch your face because the camera's there, they're picking up your facial data. When you go to kiss somebody or hug them, you gotta be weary of the bar in there. When I draw my pistol, when I go like this, the bar would hit my arm, and you always have to be weary of that, and you kind of have to adjust a little bit. So it's kind of, it's really annoying with the equipment, and I just hope that mocap equipment and the technology gets more and more seamless as the years go by, so we're more free as actors to do anything that we can do in on camera work, like in film and TV.
Mm-hmm.
We're limited a bit with mocap.
Yeah.
For instance, when we kissed, that scene, her and I, we had to do that scene 2 different times. One was with the facial data, and we had to pretend like we were kissing so they could pick up the expressions.
That's not awkward.
But then we get to take the helmets off.
We had to take the helmets off, and we did the actual kiss for the bodies to be close and any kind of intimacy happening there, and they mixed the 2 scenes together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, I was gonna say, annoyance-wise, I mean, for us in this field, we have to be able to put up with anything, and especially with mocap, because we get stopped all the time. Oh, the battery went out on this. Oh, this happened here. Oh, it's not picking up data. Can we stop? Let's T-pose again, start over. Oh, you have your gun, right? My gun, I can't have an actual holster on, right? So there's literally a physical person who has to be your holster to like follow you around so you can pull your gun out. Like, it's little things like that that like, it's not about necessarily just us, but it's a team effort. So it's, I guess if a writer or a director, let's say a director would have to realize that this is a team effort. So as much as it is about the actors and keeping us in a certain place, as actors, we have to realize that everybody has a part in this, and we can't be divas in this. Like, we have to just be like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I just close my eyes and I'm like, oh, T-pose, okay, do whatever. I'm a, you know, poke and prod, whatever you want, you know what I mean? Like, but we have to just all remember to just be a team as much as possible. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm, no problem.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Whoa.
I'm just so powerful. I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
All right, so aside from your own role, what is your dream role?
Dream role?
Like, what is a role you want to voice in that you haven't already done already?
In a video game specifically?
It doesn't have to be video games. It could be like shows or movies, whatever, you know, in this voice acting world.
In voice acting?
Yes.
Do you have it?
I would just love a new IP, to be honest. I would love to fresh start. Like, I would love to be able to create something that hasn't been done yet, and like create a character that's completely new, personally. Because I got to do mocap, like I was a huge Tomb Raider fan, and I got to just do like some mocap as Lara, and I was like, you know what? I had my taste, I'm good. I don't gotta be Lara now, you know? Now, don't quote me. If they want to come to me to be Lara, I will be Lara. But, but yeah, I think a new IP would be amazing, because I feel like we're so blessed to have character. Like, this character for me already hits all the notes that I like. So yeah.
For me, let's see. I would want to voice something in Mega Man. in a Street Fighter. I would want to do something in a Smash Bros. One day would be a dream come true. Maybe voice a turtle. Something in the Castlevania realm. Simon Belmont, maybe. Let's see. There's a bunch. I would want to be in like a Rainbow Six or any Tom Clancy game. I can go on forever, but I'm gonna pass it off.
Okay, so and I hope this doesn't sound insincere, but I've been really, really fortunate as a voice actor and as an actress in my life. Like when I get asked what not only what would be a dream role I'd want to play, but what is my favorite role that I've gotten to play so far, I can't pick one. I can't. I'm sure that there are like I've never played. I feel like I've covered a lot of like archetypes, kind of like. But yeah, one day I'd like to play like some evil queen or whatever. But I have sort of been able to play characters like that. Like I've just been like Ada is such an incredible character to be able to play. Some of the other opportunities that I've had as an actor have just been absolutely incredible, and I just love every single one of them. So I'm really lucky. I get a lot of fun roles. So I just hope they keep coming. I hope I'm as fulfilled and excited about every character that I'm offered as much as I am now. Like I love my career. I have a great career.
I second that. I would love to see you as an evil queen.
As an evil queen, yeah.
In a Disney movie.
Or like, that would be great. I'd be like, hate the Disney princesses. Yeah. I'd also, I would like to play some sort of like, I like evil characters, some sort of like tough cowgirl type of thing, like,
I would love to play a villain. I would love to play a villain, because anytime I play D&D, like, I always would play like these sort of like heroic, mysterious characters. I love mysterious, but, and I got to play a villain that was like in plain sight to everyone not a villain. Ooh, that was fun. So that would be fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that is the time we have for today. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Nick and Stephanie and Jolene. Thank you so much for being here at our show. We love you guys. We're glad you were able to be here. Well, thank you so much.
And thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming and spending your time with us.
Thank you all so
awesome.
much
Thanks
for
a
making
lot,
our
you guys.
first SacAnime awesome. Woo!
Thank you very much, everybody. One last round of applause for Nick and Stephanie and Jolene.